What's up, guys? It's Ben. Welcome to Watchbots Prime. And I'm not going to pea-foot around tonight. You know, there's a lot going on in this world. It's a pretty fucked up place. And that's why I'm going to talk about The Bachelor. So, when we last left off, Pilot Pete had his heart broken by that harlot, Hannah Brown. And then he came back and he was the Bachelor. I guess that's kind of how it works. Is they pick some schlub from the previous season to come back and be the dude or dudette du jour, as it were. And because Peter is a pilot, I expected a certain amount of pilot puns, which I was not disappointed by. Quotes like, "He's a pilot and I'm a jet setter." It's a good one. I had a concern that I wasn't going to enjoy The Bachelor as much as I enjoyed The Bachelorette. Like, seeing lunkhead dudes be mad at each other and scream at each other, it has an appeal, but women being catty and getting like wine trashed and freaking out, I don't know. Like, I was like, is this going to be as fun? But it was. I'm just going to spoil it. It was. I'm going to give you a few quotes here from some of Peter's girls. "Waxing is a lot like love. I'm taking control of my life at 23. But my favorite part is they do the limo bit. So this guy's out there in his tuxedo and everybody shows up in a limo. And it's not enough to show up wearing like a glamorous dress with your hair all done and saying like, "Hey, Peter, I hope we get married and maybe make out." It's like, you got to show up with a fucking prop, right? So a few props that happened. One girl coming up and just saying that she would wing it. Another girl handcuffed him and then kissed him, which is pretty fucked up. That would be sexual assault, I think. Another one brought like one of those TSA wands that they scan you with the metal detector, and she put it over his dick and said that she could tell he had a big package. I don't think I'm overselling that or underselling that. I think I'm giving it what it deserves. We also had a lot of weird sex puns, and believe me, you know I like those. So one girl came up and said that her sense of humor was dry, and that was the only thing dry about her. And I promise you, I delivered that joke with about 1,000 times more charisma than this poor girl, because she stumbled over it to the point that he forgot the joke and she had to retell it. That's embarrassing. But the weirdest one of all was one girl showed up, and I'm going to give you the quote. "You're going to love my hairless pussy cat." And then she pulled out of a picture of her cat. And it's not that she made such a weird and kind of gross joke. It's that she has a hairless cat. So I'm pretty sure he sent her home. And if I was the Bachelor, which I'm not, Shaylin would be the first to tell you, I'd send home that lunatic just for having a hairless cat. That shit's weird. But they just made all of these flight jokes and windmill jokes because he and Hannah did the nasty. They played mini golf in the windmill, if you recall, last season. And then Hannah kept showing up and people are crying. It is the most dramatic season of The Bachelor that I've ever watched. Shaylin claims that she's not really invested, but Shaylin's a liar. She tries to be all high and cultured, but she's down here in the shit with me, just the way you folks like it. We also watched on Tubi the first episode of the first season of The Bachelor, which was from 2002. And boy, this homeboy's walking around with like a 2002 David Byrne suit on. And he talks like Tweety Bird, which I can relate to. And the women all look horrifying. I guess the point is there's really not a bad way to watch The Bachelor. You know, it's all gold all the time. And welcome back, folks. We're in for 2.5 months of treats here. Now, on to this week. You know, we had a lot of fun last week with dream sandwiches and the Flintstones and Shaylin and her magical bites of food. But it's time to get serious again. You know, we're kicking back forward to the 90s. That's really the niche for us. And we've watched a lot of bullshit in the last year plus. Some good, some bad, some confusing, but I can honestly say that I've never been as disturbed as I have been as with this week's show. And think of it as Calvin and Hobbes, but with much less of the heartwarm, much more torture porn, and a lot more permed Howie Mandel. That's right. This is Bobby's World. I remembered Bobby's World being a show about imagination. What I didn't really remember is Bobby being tormented by children and other adults, and it being referenced to misery and like chasing Nazis. It was truly upsetting to watch. So, it was a Dave pick. I'll just spoil that one. He picked the truly upsetting cartoon, but I guess it's good. I'm not sure. I got a lot of feelings wrapped up in this one, but the episode that we watched is Misery Loves Company, and it's 21 minutes of something. I was psychologically exhausted coming out of it, but maybe there were lots of jokes in there. I don't know. A lot to dissect. We want to hear from you, as always. Hashtag Dream Sandwich, Twitter at WatchbotsPod, email at watchbotspod.com, and all that good shit. But I think that's good enough for now. I'm going to leave you here thinking about Pilot Pete and his ladies. This is Ben, signing off. And until next week, I just want you to know how much I love that big old dick. E. Barrett. Bye.